Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, last time I largely finished Ririsya herself. Aside from just the lighting and stuff, that's still pretty rough. So I had kind of started getting into the background. I put the basics on the umbrella. Now, I think there's still more I can do with it there. Some of the drops maybe feel a little bit small. I think the streaks of rain I got going down there is pretty okay, but the rest maybe a little bit small. So I want to figure all that out today and probably get everything that I want going into the background. It's going to be pretty simple. Just a bunch of little silhouettes and stuff. So I'm pretty sure I can finish that today without much effort. So it's just a matter of getting those parts in, and then I also kind of wanted to touch up the fur a little bit. That it might be a little hard just because of how I did it, but this right here is a very straight line, and I don't think it looks very good. So I wanted to try to floof it out just a little there. Make it a little bit more of an interesting shape. So I'm gonna start there. You know, as I tend to do, I like to start with corrections most of the time. So I'm just gonna grab my liquefy and just push it around a bit. And hope that it solves a lot of the problem. Make my life easier if it does, because I have some gradients on this. And with everything drawn on like the same layer, it's like, it's gonna be hard to fix. So if I don't have to fix too much, you know, that would just be great. I'd really appreciate it, but I'm not really counting on it. I'm probably just gonna suffer a little bit. It's fine. Such is the life of an artist. Anyway, I kind of want to get this more in the light here. Yeah, it is what it is. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll fix it all in the end. It'll be great. Okay, so I kind of got rid of a bunch of stuff there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of stuff over here. And I want to tame the general shape of this a bit. Maybe put a little fold up in here. This is why I said I was pretty sure I was going to suffer a little bit, but this already just looks so much better, so I think it'll be worth it. You know, hopefully. Alright. At the very least, my shadow color is nice and easy to get, because it is just what I used right there. So let's go ahead and add some of this little furry texture back. I should probably pull it out just a little bit more, but frankly, I think having a little bit of just gradation residue, let's call it, is probably okay. So I'm not gonna worry about it that much. Especially for such a minor area. The real thing was just that it being so dang straight, just it had bad energy. You cannot leave bad energy in paintings. That just, it's way too sad. So I wanted to clean that up a little. And since I got a little bit of gradation going on here, instead of trying to match the exact color there, I'm just gonna make it fluffy and pretend like it was intentional. It's okay, nobody will know unless I tell them. No one will know unless they watch this video, so it can be our secret. I make decisions like that all the time. It's fine. It's totally fine. So I'm gonna do kind of the same thing over here, where I just kind of bring some of this fur color out into the gradient I made earlier. And I think it should look pretty good. I don't think it looks terrible, so I'll take it. So just keep making this last little bit a little furry, and then I think I want to add some of the lights back in, and frankly, the edge of this, I'm assuming part of this was covered up while before I liquefied it. So it just kind of looks bad now, so I will fix some of that as well. And I'll go from there. Oh yeah, I think this is looking fine. So let's go ahead and unlock the layer, and I will start just, I don't know, fixing up that kind of ugly edge. It's too flat in some places, and it just doesn't look very good. It must be fluffy. So fluffy. Alright, and I have a small announcement. So the other day, I put up a post in the posts tab on my channel asking for, you know, just some simple things. I want to do a little randomization. So what I plan to do is I want to go and get a few suggestions from the community of just a VTuber. So you can pick anyone you like. You can even pick me if you want, if you're not too familiar with other VTubers. A mood, so the kind of mood lighting and stuff that I will eventually add, and just the general atmosphere that you want in the picture, and a location. And then after I finish this picture that I'm currently working on, I want to go and randomize the suggestions that I got, and hopefully get kind of a funny mix of things, and then try to draw it. I may not be able to draw fast, but I trust myself when it comes to any kind of weird atmospheric lighting, so I thought that it would be a fun thing. So you can put anything you want there, just a VTuber, a mood, or emotion, and a location. And it can be anything you want. Anything you'd like to see me draw, or anything that you just think would be funny. Feel free to troll me as much as you want. It'll make the video better. And yeah, so then I'll randomize everything. Feel free to submit as many times as you want, as long as each suggestion is different. No flooding my randomizer. I will just not count it. But yeah, as long as each suggestion is different, feel free to suggest as many times as you want. And then once I'm done with this picture, I will go and draw it. And we'll see what kind of interesting things we get. But honestly, I would have very much loved to involve you guys a little bit more in my process of deciding what to draw. I would like to do a little bit more random things. Unfortunately, I can't do a lot of on-the-spot stuff. I just cannot draw fast enough as I am right now. And my process is a little bit more methodical there. But you know, I figure that just allowing that kind of interaction and kind of leading what I draw that way is kind of a good middle ground. This way, it's not just me deciding something at random. It's everyone deciding something at random. All right. So yeah, I think that fur looks much better. I think I can leave it there. Most of this is going to be put in shadow when it comes time to add the atmospheric lighting anyway. So now I kind of want to revisit some of these drops falling off of the umbrella. I just think some of them are maybe a little bit small. I'm not exactly sure how big I think they should be, but I guess I'll find out. If they're too small, and I know that they are too small, then let's just start by making them a little bigger. I just gotta start with what I do currently understand. One thing at a time. Gotta start somewhere. So I'll put in some larger drops kind of dangling off there and see if that kind of does it. I mean, I'm hopeful. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. This is maybe a bit too many, but to be fair, it's supposed to be a lot of rain, so I think that it's fine. I mean, if I put my foreground back on... I don't know. I think that matches up with the kind of rain I got here. There's a lot of it. It's pretty thick. Blowing around pretty hard. I want... Let's see. Is water falling off of umbrellas affected strongly by wind? I imagine a lot of this is... something surface tension. But, I want to see what it looks like. So I just kind of want to liquefy this and push it over a little. Oh, that actually does look pretty good. Okay, I think I dig it. I don't actually really know what water on this looks like, and unfortunately when I go to look up references... I get a lot of AI images, and I do think AI can be used for reference for certain things, especially if you're wondering how a particular thing is stylized, but if you're trying to actually see what it looks like, you know, using AI is a terrible idea. AI doesn't understand anything. Water dripping from umbrella. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I actually have a lot of freedom in how I handle this. If anything, it seems like I probably don't want it going like all the way across the edge, which, you know, makes sense. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. I'm gonna study this for just a moment here. Okay, I got it. I know what I want to do. We're gonna get rid of a few of these. We're gonna keep that. I do think it makes sense for it to be kind of going off the edge there. And at some point I need like little poles going off of this. It seems like a lot of the ones on transparent umbrellas like this are black. So I'll roll with that. And I want a nice, big streak and collection of water coming through there. I think that was the big thing I was missing. As always, reference saves us all. You never really know what something looks like until you try to draw it. It's actually incredibly difficult to draw something from memory. Like, super hard. You know, don't feel bad if you struggle to do it. It is so hard. So And the way to use reference isn't necessarily just to copy it one for one. It's to just, you know, look at it. And see how the thing that you're trying to draw, like, actually works. See what it looks like. Really, really look at it. And turn off all of your brain's filters that are trying to help you, because your brain is doing its best. It's doing its best to save you extra cognitive work, but you need that extra cognitive work in order to actually draw something. It's just how it is. So that's where photo references is very helpful. And for most things, I do recommend photo reference if you can get it. But there are times that I do reference stylized images, especially if I'm looking for specific ideas on how things are stylized and ideas that might help certain techniques. Like when I was doing Inktober last year, for example. I looked up a ton of pen and ink drawings because I wanted to have some pen and ink inspiration in my Inktober drawings. I just felt like it was appropriate, and even though I do digital and intended to continue doing digital, it was ultimately inspired by a guy that wanted to do pen and ink drawings. So I thought it would be a good idea to incorporate a little bit of that into what I was doing. So I looked up a ton of images just to kind of get a better understanding of how it was styled and what it looked like. And frankly, I think it improved my art a lot of just trying to get a better understanding of it. Maybe someday I'll do some, like, deep style analysis. That might be fun. I mean, as it stands, I'm always happy to come out and just draw things and have a good time. But if there's anything that you guys are kind of interested in seeing me do, I am totally up for just trying to draw something in the style of, you know, whatever you want. One of my goals for next year was actually to potentially start doing some more art challenges. And I am debating on whether or not it'll be able to take the form that I want it to. With just, I am a slower artist, a little bit more methodical in certain areas, but mostly just kind of slow. And, you know, doing a 15 style challenge would probably take me months. But if I did, you know, maybe 2 or 3 and just did a super in-depth look at that artist's particular style and really just analyzed what made it work, what kinds of shapes and other things that they like to use and that kind of thing, you know, that's probably a bit more doable. That is like the slow person's version of doing these things. So I think there's room for interesting stuff. But any feedback that you guys can give me is actually really helpful. Even just knowing why you watch me in particular, or why you enjoy my content and that kind of thing, would actually tell me quite a lot. I'd like to put a little bit more effort into growing the channel, but I am just not always sure how to do it. I am not a marketing person. And it is scary going out there all alone. But I'd like to lean a little bit more into what people are interested in watching, and what about me in particular makes people want to watch what I do? Because up until now, I was largely just kind of coming on, doing what I feel like, and just doing my best, I guess. But I think there's room for me to both do what I want and also make stuff that people would like to watch. I would like to make everything that I do better and more fun, and maybe encourage more people to go out and draw and make stuff. Alright, just gonna dot this a little bit because this is kind of what my reference umbrella looks like. I'd actually rather have that just right here, and then we do something like that. Okay. Now I kind of want to erase out the center a little bit. I'm going to use an opacity brush for this, actually. I am not used to doing such things, but I think it makes sense here, and I will just try to be very careful about what I erase. But this is kind of the impression that I get when I look at that umbrella. That image that I am referencing here. Yeah, this isn't gonna work, is it? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Maybe instead, I do have a rough idea of what the background color is going to be. So I do think I can just maybe take a color from there and paint. Okay, yeah, I think I can do that. It's not exactly correct, but I think it's fine. Maybe, in theory. We'll try it and see what happens. It has been a very long time since I've drawn rain, and I do not think I've ever drawn rain on an umbrella before. Actually, I think the last time I drew rain was Inktober of last year, and that was just lines. Random little lines that I drew in like 5 or 10 minutes. Definitely not appropriate for a serious drawing. Like, I can do whatever I want in those silly speed paints, and it's fine because it's a speed paint. Who cares? But with these, I like to make them look a little bit better. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. I was worried about how this dark color I'm using would look up against the umbrella, but no, I think that looks okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to look like water dripping off the umbrella there. Yeah, I think that's pretty okay. And then I can just add a few more drops kind of pouring off of it. I definitely don't want to do that zoomed in, but... otherwise, they're going to get a little bit too small. In fact, they might already be, but... Okay, and I'll get these ones a little. Try to let things kind of blow off to the side here and that kind of thing. That's probably good enough. I think that's fine for what this is. And then I can detail all of the things going up there a little bit more nicely, and that should be good. I'm trying not to get too caught up in small details. I'm doing my best. Okay, but I do at least want to make sure that this is clean. And I kind of like where this is going here. I kind of like where this is going, so let's just pull it out just a little bit more. See what I can get out of that guy. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting somewhere. Alright, so I'll just do this for a little bit. Try to get the impression of water here. And that should be fine. No, I actually think that part should be a little bit more filled in like that. And then maybe it's here that it gets a little bit darker. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay. As you can see, for once I don't have the layer locked. I'm just kind of doing everything at the same time. I think that's appropriate for this area here. It's not really that big a deal. I'm just going to spend an eternity on it because I don't really know how to draw water. It has been some time since I've drawn it. Drawing water is going to be kind of important for certain parts of my comic idea, though, so I might have to do some proper water studies at some point. But I'm honestly terrible about doing studies. Absolutely terrible. I just always prefer to just go in and draw a thing as opposed to figuring out how to draw a thing. I just kind of do it all at the same time. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to do it that way, but it's what I do. Because when it comes down to it, you know, there tends to just be things that I want to draw, and I'm like, okay, I could study, or I could just draw the illustration I want to draw, figure it out. And that's just how I roll, you know? Just make the thing and figure it out. Alright. Okay, looks good. I think that's fine. Let's make this look good now. So I have all the drops over here on a separate layer, I think. I hope. Yeah. So I'll be able to clean that up a little bit separately. But for now, I'll just go with this. And it all works somehow. It's like magic. I was actually a little bit worried about that. I was like, is that going to look good in the lighting? And fortunately, the answer is yes. So, I don't have to pull any shenanigans. It's like, it's fine. So I just keep going. I think I'll get rid of... No, I want to keep that part. There's a little river kind of leading into this one already. Okay. Man, this is... these are some funny shapes. I like them. Water's interesting. Water really is just an absolutely fascinating substance. There's no other substance out there quite like it. It violates a lot of what pretty much every other substance out there does. Of like it getting bigger when it freezes and that kind of thing. Or, you know, that I'm pretty sure science still doesn't know why ice is slippery. That's not a common phenomenon around solids. So it's just a very weird thing. So kind of figuring out how it moves and what I want it all to be doing is also kind of interesting. Honestly, the entire world is just kind of interesting. I think it can be easy to forget that sometimes, but the world is neat. Gonna get rid of this one. Okay. Let's add just a little bit more spray here and there. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. Let's see, are you on there? Yeah, I don't think I want that. Okay. I think that's fine. Maybe not the best draw on rain, but I think it's fine. So let's go ahead and start getting all these little streaky spots. And let some rivers run down this umbrella. I think... Honestly, I'm kind of tempted just to start over here. So, yeah, I think I will. I'll just hit delete, and now I'm going to go back and look at my reference and start trying to understand how this happens. So I think I'm going to have a moderately sized river right here, just dripping off there. And I'll just try to run some things down here. I'm just going to be going back and forth between the picture and my reference and trying to get an accurate representation of what happens here. Just trying to feel the flow of the water somewhat. Not quite sure where I'm going with this, but I don't know. I think it's working, so I think it's fine. Yeah, the reference I see just largely has a lot of these big rivers going through it. And kind of splitting off like this. With little pools where that kind of pools together here and there. And it's like, maybe this isn't entirely accurate just because the umbrella in my reference is more horizontal, whereas this one is very much more vertical, but I think it's okay. I think everything will be okay. However, I want to try it. I think especially for anime, what matters more is general impressions. Rather than just like exact, this is what the thing looks like. And I think that this gives the impression of a wet umbrella, so I think I'm going to call that good. Let's see, I think I want a little bit more over here. But I'm not going to spend that much time on this side. Not very much of it is showing, so I think that should be fine. So I'll just go ahead and clean this up now. And I'll see where it all goes. I'm not actually sure if this color is going to work here, but I'll go ahead and try it. And if it doesn't work for me when I change how the background looks, I'll go ahead and change it. I can change anything I want, anything that I don't think is suiting the image. You know, I'll just go and fix it. But first I have to get far enough along to really be able to get a good feel for what's working and what isn't. So I'll do that first. Let's just get it in there. All right. I'm happy. I think it's coming out really well. And I'm just trying to keep these ones up here a little bit brighter than some of the other ones. Because, I mean, I can really feel the rainbow up here. It's very strong up in this area, so I think I can keep a lot of these little droplets very, very light. And they'll look quite good. I actually do think that this is looking pretty good. I'm glad. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking drawing something kind of new. And while I have drawn rain in the past, I rarely actually draw people in the rain with an umbrella. Typically, I just let them get soaked. It's just the kind of rain images I've drawn before. Okay, and you know what? I think that's good. That does look like a nice heavy rain, and over there I think looks fine as is, so I'll just leave it like that. And now I think I'm gonna add the last few umbrella details. So it does feel like a lot of the time these poles are black. I made mine over here silver though, so I think I'll actually stick with that. So we'll just have a little thing kind of coming out here like this. And I'll figure out what to do about the water a little bit later, but to be fair, it's all supposed to be dripping off the backside, so I think that this is fine. Alright, right here it kind of looks like it's dripping off the front, so I should probably fix that. And then we'll have another one. I think the corner's probably going to be somewhere over there. And I'll just let it kind of come in here. And then there's always like these little rounded peg things at the end here. And I think that's the only ones that we really see. Like, there's probably more out there somewhere, but, you know... Where exactly is that? Who knows? But I actually think that one's incorrect. This one's fine. So if the top is up there, I think that the one on this corner is actually going to go more like this. And then connect back up that way. There we go. That looks a little bit more accurate. I've talked about caring about how clothes and stuff are constructed when I'm drawing a character. I think that's a good policy for objects in general, because when you know how they are actually put together, it becomes much easier to have kind of an idea of where you should draw certain things. I'm trying to get something a little bit more transparent here, but it's not working. It is just clearing them. Okay. So I can't do it like that. I just feel like some of those are a little bit too opaque. So I guess I'll just take my airbrush, turn it into an eraser, and brush it back a little. You're not on that layer? Okay, there we go. I don't want to overdo it, but there we go. Now I feel like it looks more like it's on the other side of the umbrella, and therefore it makes sense for that pole to be sticking out in front. Okay. So now I think I can get to finishing this off without it driving me crazy. Sounds great. So I'm gonna try to get this relatively straight. I think it's fine for it to curve a little bit. It curves in real umbrellas. It's a very flexible kind of thing. So I don't have to be perfect, but I want to get it reasonably accurate here. Make sure that this is straight and also long enough and all that good stuff. I think it might actually be a little bit too long right now, so I'll go ahead and plop that there. I do want to round off that edge a little, because after all, the whole point of these pegs is to make sure that you don't get poked by the umbrella and get hurt. So I don't want it to look too pointy. That sounds like a great way to just accidentally poke yourself. I think that might even be a little bit thick. Yeah, I think so. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. That looks so much better than what I had before. Let's give this side the same treatment. Make it much thinner. And I'm just going to try to keep my strokes very steady. I succeeded maybe 70% of the way. I think that's okay, though. I can still fix the rest. And then I will look at another reference to see what these pulls actually look like. So that this way I can shade them accurately. And I just want to get this straight. I think it's a little crooked. So I want to get it a little straighter. And unfortunately, this isn't one where I can kind of cheat with the line tool because the line does actually need to be a little bit curved. Umbrella pulls are not perfectly straight. So I just need to kind of go over it until everything is the proper thickness and whatnot. And my hand is not very steady today, so it's okay. It rarely is. I have learned to work around it. Yeah, and I think I might need to adjust the transparency of some of the things around here still. But I can do that. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom out and check on that. How's it looking? I'm kind of afraid I might have made them too thin. No, they really are just extremely thin. Okay. Okay. I think that's okay then. I'll just go ahead and do some basic shading. I don't want to bring too much attention to this area, so... all of this is basically to pull attention away from it. Because I feel like if I don't have at least part of it shaded, it will actually look wrong. And therefore draw attention to itself. And, you know, that's just no good. Similarly, I'm going to put a few shadows on the umbrella. Related to these pulls. I was going to look up what they actually look like, but frankly, you know what? This is fine. This is just fine. And I get the feeling I'm probably using the same shadow color as I was here, so I will roll with that. And I'll just put a little bit of shadow right back here. On both layers. Just enough to kind of show what's happening. That's a bit thick. Oops. Yeah, right. Of course. Okay. Trying that again. Okay, and you know what? Sufficient. I will probably add some more colors when it comes time to add rainbows, because it is white. And white things reflect color very, very heavily. But for the time being, I think after I kind of take back some of the opacity on these guys, it'll be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna take it back just a little. Just a little here. Okay. Alright, I think it's good. Yep, I think I'm happy. Okay, so I'm gonna go move on to the background now, and for that, I'm gonna turn off the foreground just for a little bit. Let's see, why do I still have rays of light there? Yeah, I guess this layer exists, huh? Okay. Oh, I actually already have a lot of my little atmospheric perspective there. Okay, well, I think the first thing I want to do are these little poles. Right now, I kind of feel like they're drawing a bit of attention to themselves. And while I do rather like the light there, I'm gonna just tone it down a little. Well, first I guess I should get the color, but I'm pretty sure I'm just using this color. Okay, so I want to actually get the details correct on this now. No, not with an airbrush. I mean, I probably will do a little bit of a gradient shenanigans, but for now, this is the light that I want. Just trying to get all the parts pointed toward the light here. Very gently. Very carefully. And I'll do each of them one at a time. This area is a little bit more in focus than the foreground fence thing was. So I'm taking my time a little bit more here and trying to get it a little bit sharper and more accurate. These ones I don't intend to blur. So what I see here is what I'll get. And as always, anything I want to exist, you know, it's gotta be drawn. If I want it to be there, I just gotta draw it in. And sometimes that takes a minute. Especially for me. Oh yeah, that's nice. I like this. So sometimes it's the simple things that just makes me the happiest. That's why I wanted to add just a little bit of detail to this. I didn't want anything super strong, but you know, just a little can really bring out the light in something. And I do like light. It is just fantastic. So here I'm kind of actually seeing this object more completely bathed in light there. But I don't want to just color the whole thing. I don't think that would look very good. So I'm just making it come a little bit more from the top and the outer edges. So I'm not going to make it quite as strong on these lower parts as I did this guy. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but I think it looks nice. So I'll roll with it. Alright, let's see. I think I actually will put a little dab just right there. I'll do it on both of these. Okay, I think that's good. In this area, I think I'm just going to redraw it. I'm just going to start with these upper parts for now, and then I'll do the rest of the fence after. The rest of the fence, I think, is going to be pretty straightforward, so should be good. I just want to do one thing at a time here. Oh yeah, that's nice. I love light. It's so pretty. It's basically what let me get started drawing. When I was learning how to draw, like most people, I tried to start with a basic sketch and line art. I tried to do lines, but I just found that I didn't see lines very well. And what I saw was blobs of light, so I started just painting blobs of light instead. I painted entirely in black and white, and I would just grab my various opacity brushes, and if I felt like something should be darker, I put it in black, and if I thought it should be lighter, I used white, and I just went from there. And it worked really well for me for a while. I highly recommend trying it. It can be pretty fun. Maybe I'll do it on screen sometime. Or on stream, rather. But it has been a long time since I've drawn like that. And now I'm prone to actually doing stuff like using layers. Back then I drew all on one layer. But I do find it easier to use multiple layers now. And I started wanting to paint directly in color. As like for a while, I would have my black and white underpainting, and then glaze over it with color. But I just found that my ability to see the values in color was not very good. So my values would get all messed up the second that I added color. So I just found it easier to wrangle the composition and mood lighting and stuff when I painted directly in color, and then added additional layers for additional lighting. You know, much like I do now. I just found it a bit easier. But I got my start with just black and white underpaintings. And I also found that my colors were a little bit stronger when I did stuff in color right away. It took some finagling in order to get the colors right on my black and white underpaintings. As always, the less shenanigans that I have to pull in order to make something look good, the better as far as I'm concerned. All right, I think that's good for there. So looks like I only got a couple left. Let me see, there's none on like her other side, right? Yeah, she goes all the way to the edge of the screen. So these are the last three. And do the swoopy bits. There we go. Swoopy bits. Gonna get them nice and bright and smooth too. And actually, now that I think about it, I think on all of these, it should go all the way up here. It just looks like this part is facing the light to me. I'm actually gonna go correct that on all of these. And I kinda... Oh yeah. Look at that. It's such a simple thing. But just making the line a little bit thicker there really does make it look like this area is facing the light. I think that's fantastic. This one I'm going to do just a little bit differently, and I don't think it's going to go all the way to the edge like the others. But I will make it thicker out on the sides here. And I need a little bit of light coming over on this side too. There we go. That's nice. I like it. Phew. Okay. But I think... Oh, wait. I didn't finish this one. Whoops. I gotta get those little swoopy bits too. Very important. Don't want anyone to be neglected. There. Okay. I think that goes a little bit too far down, so let's trim it back just a little bit. All right. And I'm considering something with this. I'm wondering if I should be getting this line too. I'm going to take a look and see if it's... I'm going to compare what I've got going on some of these other ones with this. No, this is better. Okay. It's okay. I tried. And now I know for sure that I like the other option better. And I wouldn't know for sure if I didn't try. But I think that's one of the beauties of digital. And that it's real easy to just try things and compare one option to another. Just instantly. And no matter which one you end up liking better, you can just pick it easily. If you like the thing that you drew better, then, well, there you go. It's right there. You can refine it further. And if you prefer the old version, well, just hit Control-Z a couple of times or delete a layer or, you know, whatever else. And it's gone. And you can go back to the old pattern. It's fantastic. I love digital so much. Computers are great. They are wonderful tools. Although I suppose that this is no surprise coming from a programmer. Alright, this is the second to last one. This is the last one with the top part showing. And then I can just go get the rest of the fence. And I'm just taking my time today. Today, I feel like taking it a little easy. I'm not going to try to make myself go fast today as much as I'd like to be a little faster. Today, I just kind of want to go slow. I think art can be relaxing, and when I'm not really trying to rush myself, I do generally feel a bit more relaxed. Okay, and then there's just this little guy here. We'll get some of the top part. There we go. Okay, and I think that's all of them. That looks pretty nice. All right. Now then, I'm gonna go get the little poles, and, you know, just for fun, I'm gonna start from this side. I want to look up a cast iron fence one more time. I just want to see how those poles generally go across. Okay, it looks like most of the time the vertical parts are actually inside of the horizontal ones. So I actually want my highlight to run all the way across here. So I'm actually going to go and erase a bunch of stuff, and then I'm going to get my line tool and use that to make the highlight. I think that'll be easier than trying to, I don't know, pull shenanigans here. And then I'll just have to go back and clean it up a little. Because I'm definitely not, I don't know how it's going to go all the way across there. I actually think that might be a little thick. I'm going to get a smaller one. Maybe like around 13 pixels here. Yeah, I think that's better. And then I think I won't put any on the bottom part, because after all, I don't think the light hits there. All right. Then I just need to kind of fill in some stuff here where I didn't quite line it up properly, but it was close enough. Close enough is fine here. And actually, I do think that this horizontal bar should continue. So I'm going to let it do that. It should continue out this way. This is not the end of the fence. It continues off screen. And it also continues behind her. So there we go. Now I got that part. And okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of everything here. And rather than try to draw these straight lines accurately, because everybody knows that I am terrible at drawing straight lines is super hard. Don't worry if you can't. I'm going to go ahead and use my line tool again. I think I want this to be even thinner than what I had before. So if that was 13, let's try like 8. And I'll just plop it all the way down. I have you set to erase right now. There we go. Someday I will get the right combination of tools and then I can draw my line. It'll be great. For this one specifically, I don't actually have to go up all the way, so I'll just do it like that. All right. And then I just need to do that for each one. But I think that this is a little bit easier than what I was doing before, so shouldn't take too long. You know, in theory. And once again, I got my eraser on accident. And then I got the brush. Someday, man, someday. Someday I can draw all the lines. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw them all, and then I'll go back and clean them up. Okay, and this one, once again, I'm going to put things on both sides. In theory. It's having a little bit of trouble because it wants to kind of stick to the edge there, so I had to zoom in a little in order to make that line. It really wants to stick. I don't want it to stick. Okay, that's good enough. I will correct it after. Okay. So now what I gotta do here is I need to erase on the pole. And then I need to fill in all of the edge parts that I didn't quite get the line all the way to the edge. And that's okay. I can go fill it in. The line did most of the work for me. So now I just need to get the last little bit. But first I'm going to go ahead and just erase all the little things here. Since I have decided that the poles are inside this horizontal bar. Okay. Now I can go and perfect the shape of all of these. And I think for here it's okay if the width is a little bit inconsistent. For a lot of things, I try to be a little bit more precise, but for here, you know, it's just a minor background element. A lot of it's going to be covered up, and it's just going to be barely shining through the light. So I don't really think I need to worry about it. I mean, even the bottom parts here don't necessarily look great. But because they're covered up, you know, it's fine. I don't need to worry about it. The only details that matter are the ones that are actually seen. Everything else is just a waste of time. I say that because I have to remind myself of it sometimes too. It can be easy just to get into a very perfectionistic state. And life is hard. Okay. So there's some shenanigans here, because the line tool really wanted to stick to the edge. But I think I got it started well enough that I can finish it. And this is very shaky. I'm gotta go back and clean that up, but unfortunately, because of the way Krita wanted to magnetize this to the edge, I'm pretty sure I could turn that off. I just can't remember where the option is, and it's easy enough to just draw it that I don't really care. But, unfortunately, due to that magnetization, I gotta do a little bit more drawing on this one. Okay. And I think that is good enough. So there we go. I think I want to do just a little bit of gradation too. So I will do that now. I'm going to start with the top parts and then move to the bottom. And I'm being a little bit messy here. I think it's okay. I'm not particularly concerned about it. There we go. I think that looks nice. Okay, let's draw some trees. Looks like I've already got most of the colors picked. I might adjust them a little bit. I'm not sure yet. But for now, I would like to just smooth out what I have. And I don't actually think that this needs that much smoothing either, which is also nice. So I'll just gently draw over everything I've got here. Probably take a look at it closer to 100% and make sure that there's no weird edges, and I don't know, maybe I'll add a few spooky sticks. Actually, I hate it, so no, I won't. I'm mostly just straightening it out, so I think that's fine. Let's get the next one. I'm gonna make it a solid color first, just to make my life a little bit easier here. It's a little bit harder to wrangle things when there are multiple colors involved. Okay, and one more. Once again, I will make it a solid color just for my own sanity. And actually, I don't think I really need to do anything more with that one. That one's fine. I will move the ground above them all, though. Alright, I think that's fine for the trees. Alright, let's turn the foreground back on and make sure everything's good. The big thing I want to look at right now is, are those fence posts completely covered? And the answer is no. But I can pretend, so... Shh. Don't tell anyone. What's going on right there? There's like a harsh edge to my rainbow right there. Where are you from? Are you just... You are the ground, I think. Okay. I gotta draw a little bit more ground. Sounds good. No problem. Sometimes things just really don't have to be too complicated. And that was all as well. That was all it needed. So when I said that I might do the randomized drawing once I finish this one, I thought I was gonna have another day. But at this rate, I legitimately might finish it today. Well, if you guys want to help me out, please write down some stuff in that thread that I have in the posts tab, so this way I can get a good randomization. Otherwise, it looks like I might be drawing a depressed Chibidoki in a forest. And while that's certainly fine, it's, I don't know. I'd like it if I could make it a little bit more random. Okay, because when I look at things here, I'm pretty satisfied, honestly. I think at most what I want to do is lower the opacity, or not the opacity, the brightness on this fence post here. I don't mind the blue. I might lower that a little bit too, but just the color of the fence itself I thought was a little bit bright. And this back tree, I think I also want it to be a little bit darker. Okay. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit of a shadowed gradient to the fence. But for that, I need to pick the dark color I used there. So let's go get that. That does mean I have to hide some stuff. Just so I can actually get this color. I think at this point it's probably solid black, but I want to make sure. Okay, where is that layer? So I just want to add a little touch of darkness over on this side. I don't really want it to be standing out too much. There we go. I think that's nice. Okay, so I guess this means I'm ready for the final steps, and that would be the lighting on her. I think that this is fine for the background. I don't think I need to do anything super elaborate for it. It kind of has the spooky atmosphere that I was going for, and everything I wanted. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of grass. I definitely don't want to go too hard on that, though. Because this is supposed to be, like, far enough away. Hello there, definitely not Manon. I totally trust you. I will not call you Manon, then. And hello there, Tito. But, yes. We're gonna make her nice and bright. You just want to get a little bit of hint of grass in there, but not too detailed. Okay. I do have that on, and... Okay, so the first thing, time to get that shadow in. I need to turn off the foreground for a bit just to make sure I get the color. And to keep my life easy, I'm going to go add it to the swatch. There. And now I can kind of construct the shadow. So let's see, which areas do I think will be nice and dark? So first off, I do think that there will be a little shadow up in the coat here. I'm going to be a little bit messy about this. There we go. And... let's see, I think most of this kind of being shadowed is accurate. Gonna get a little bit around her nose here. Try to get that kind of shape going. Yeah, and I'll fix up the hair and stuff afterward. Just because fixing up hair takes a little while. And just because I like having a little bit more light in the eyes, I'm going to add just a lighter spot right there. I might make this a little bit more gradated, but something like that. Okay. Let's see, what else do I think should be nice and dark? Probably all the stuff underneath the hair here, but the hair itself I do not think should be dark through there. This part should definitely be light. And then I'm debating on how much dark should be over here, because I could justify all of this being dark, or I could justify this area being light. Like, I think it makes sense, so I'm just gonna see which one looks better when I zoom out. Definitely a dark. Okay, that's not even hard. Okay, in which case I think this part should be dark too. This entire sleeve, probably through to just like right about there, I will leave light. All of this through here should be light. It should probably be dark. I think all that is fine. Okay, how clearly does this read? Am I satisfied with my various light sources? I'm gonna hide the swatch so that this way I can actually look at stuff. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, let's go clean it up. So I think the hair is going to be the last thing I clean up just because hair is like super time consuming. As always. The hair never leaves me. There is always more hair to render, always. But fortunately, this one is pretty easy. I just gotta make sure that her face is lit well, and that's like most of the work done. It's fine. It's what gets everything just looking really nice, so I don't mind it too much. We're just gonna pretend like she has lips. Okay. And like I said, not gonna worry about the hair just yet. That'll come later. So I just need to kind of smooth out everything else. I'm gonna put a little bit of light on the eyelashes too. Just because it makes me happy. Okay. So I'm just gonna be very careful through there. But otherwise, yep, that's about all right. And with hair coming later, then I'm just gonna swoop my way down, make sure everything's filled in. But in this case, like, literally everything is being filled in here, so this actually makes this part, like, stupidly simple. Ah, yes, and while I render the sleeve here, actually, I realized I never put the texture on the sleeve. I should do that. Let's go do that now before I forget again. Okay. Where is my sleeve? There you are. Oh yes, I realized I forgot to put the little liney texture on there. And so I should do that. And while I do these simple things, I just want to remind everyone again that I have a thing in my posts tab on the channel calling for a random VTuber that you'd like me to draw a mood or emotion that you'd want the picture to evoke, and then a location for them to exist in. And when it comes time for me to start the next drawing, I'm going to randomize whatever's put there and draw that, whatever it might be. So I just want to try to pull you guys into what I'm drawing a little bit more often here. And I thought that that might be an interesting way to do it, so I figured I'd see how it goes. Considering that I'm almost done with this, I wouldn't be surprised if I finished it today, so I might be getting started on that come Sunday. That's fine. It's okay. If it ends up being a little bit weird, it just means I have to improvise more. Alright. How's that look? We good? Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of light stuff going around here. Just, kind of emphasize this light part. Oh, right. That's on a different layer. Yes. Why is it so much brighter? Do I have... No, I don't have any of my lighting layers on. My brush is set to normal. So I'm not sure why you are so bright. Oh, I see. That's why. Okay. Okay, so I already have this set to color dodge. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna grab one that's kind of middling and draw it on that way. I don't want it to be, like, overly bright. And I don't mind it being a little bit shaky like that. I think that is fine. Okay, and now I'm satisfied. So let's go ahead and get the last little bit on the sleeves here. I guess I might as well just select my sleeve layer and just erase it like that. That's probably faster than trying to do it all manually. Okay, but this part I gotta do manually. And then because I use the selection, there's like that little bit that's like... eh. I always hate that. That's why I often grow and shrink the selection just a little bit, but it's fine. I'll just go over that rough edge real quick. And then I think all will be well. And I get to do some easy mode shadows. Alright, I want my foreground back. Hey, it's fine. You can put down whatever suggestion you want. Just maybe leave a suggestion for how she feels about this. It's okay, I know I'm playing with dangerous technology, but you know, if you don't take risks sometimes, then nothing interesting will ever happen. And I want to see what I can do. I want to stretch what I'm capable of. Okay, so I think that's it for the basic shadow there. so time for the basic light. I'm pretty sure this is just this color, so let's get that. Oh, it's actually not. Okay. Well, I'll be sure to add that to the swatch then. Yeah, it is a little bit of a different color. I'm not actually sure if I like this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and be ready to give it a different color should I be unsatisfied. But I'll go ahead and leave it where I had it before for now. And I'll plop down the areas that I think should be well lit. And I'll go from there. All right, I didn't get the hair in the shadows, huh? You know, that's actually important. I'm a do that first. I got distracted by the idea of drawing a VTuber in JFK's Place Airport in Florida. Alright, so I already know that I want all this hair to be in light. Oh, why did that get... hair? Okay. I think I understand. So hair, more hair, and strands. Okay. There we go. That should give me something pretty accurate. And I'll just erase all the parts that got put in shadow there. Okay, and from there, let's see, I have this strand on a separate layer, so I'm going to go ahead and just add a little shadow bit here. And I will clear off that strand once I'm ready. But I kind of want to get everything else around it first. And I'm just adding a few other little spots there to make the texture just a little bit more hair-like. Okay, and I think that's fine. So let's get the strands, and I will just erase this part right here. Okay. Do I have to pull any other shenanigans with the hair? I don't think so. Yeah, I want this side to be in the dark, this side to be light. I don't think I want this strand to be light, just like right here. I don't think so. I'm gonna try it just to make sure. Oh no, that actually looks quite nice. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm glad I tried it. Okay, this is why I try things. Sometimes it works out for me. No, I think I just want the whole thing to be light. And then I'll just start kind of bleeding that light and blending it in over here with the highlight. So just something just like that. Okay, perfect. I think that is about where I want to leave that. Okay, and now I can go back to what I was doing and start putting in some of the brighter lights. I still don't know if I like this color. But I do know where I want the light to be roughly, so I think it's fine to keep it. and I will just adjust the color in a little bit. I do want to get rid of the swatch. Now, did I? I see. So I didn't I used different blues. Okay, that makes sense. That sounds like something I would do. I might take away some of this blue around there. I don't know yet. So I already know that I have a different light for the skin. So I'm not going to pay attention to the skin color and how it looks for now. Let me just block in the basic lights for now. Okay, and then the hair will definitely be like mostly lit here. I think I'm actually not gonna have it right through there. Probably just use hair texture to kind of start blending it right there. Yeah. Then there will be a few spots where I kind of start getting rid of it, like through here. And then certain areas where I will bring it back. And I'm still being pretty messy about it because I already know that I've got some fixing I want to do, so I'm just putting these light spots every single place where I know I want them to exist. And that's just going to be the places that I think are pretty much directly getting hit by light. So over here's like a little bit more indirect, and I think I actually still have a little bit too much going on over on this side. And probably down here too. I'm gonna take that back just a little bit. But I think something like that is pretty accurate. It's just I don't know if I like that color. So it is time for science. Let's make her glow. This is actually kind of cool, but it's a little bit blinding, perhaps. I don't know, how will it look if I just turn down the brightness just a little? Does her hair need like a separate color or something? I'll keep it in mind. I kind of like it. Let me try some other ones. Addition is going to make like the color a little bit duller. So no, I do think color dodge is the way to go. Okay. Time to find the color that I would like to use here. So this is going to be like the light cast by the blue light I've got going on here. This is before I add all the rainbow lights. So there's going to be some even brighter stuff. I'm a little concerned. So, you know, maybe I should do them at the same time. And that's the question of how do I want to handle the rainbow lights? I'm going to clear what I have for now. So I have you set to hard light. Alright, that seems reasonable for what I'm trying to do here. So I guess I try things and see what happens. This is where things are unrealistic enough that I pretty much get to do whatever I want and it'll probably be okay. I always kind of dig moments like that. This is where the thing is, I just got to make sure it looks cool, and if it does, I win, and all is well. And if it doesn't, then I better go fix it. Okay, so far so good, though. I'm just trying to very carefully apply some of these colors because man, they are very, very, very. It's okay. Wouldn't have it any other way. That's the way rainbows should be. Nice and bright and demanding of all the attention. And I think I'm going to want to add some of this light to the foreground too. Maybe a little bit to the background. Less there, I think. But maybe a little, just so it doesn't look quite so off. Okay, I think that's pretty nice. I'm just going to think about it for a second. So, like, if I hid the light here. Yeah, and that extra blue light really does just bring out everything. Okay, I know what to do. Oh, I need to hide the foreground for just a sec. There we go. I should add this color to the swatch. Okay, let's do that before I forget again. I'm not sure if it's going to be that color. I think that's why I didn't do it before, but it'll probably be pretty similar. A little bit of light in her hand here. Maybe a little bit of light on the cheek. I definitely like that little bit of light that I put on her eye. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have my rendering cut out for me, but that's okay. I think it'll look pretty nice once I get it all right. And perhaps a little bit less just right through the elbow here. And probably a little bit less right through here too, actually. I do think this side should be very much caught in the light, though. Probably all the way through here. But then I think I'm going to want to put a little bit of this light on the umbrella, too. Okay. Now I'm going to go play around with the color again until I am happy. This is the point where I gotta make sure that the picture sings for me. Because this is where I'm gonna be leaving it. So I'm gonna cycle through all the colors and just see what I like. Admittedly, some of these nonsense like orange here, it still looks pretty good. I'm actually surprised. But I guess that's what happens when you use a rainbow. But no, I do like the blue that I had going over here. I do think that is about where it belongs. Oh man, it's getting really bright in those highlights out there. I actually think it looks really good like that, so I'm not all that concerned. Okay, yeah, I think I like this one. It's a little bit darker and a little bit more saturated. Okay, so I will change my swatch to reflect my new color. And now I'm gonna go and kind of perfect what I got here. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the rainbow light on. Once again, I'll do the hair last because hair is scary. But I'll go ahead and just get the side of her face here. And I'll just finish this off because this is like the last bit. The pupil, I want to look a little bit more like a hole, so I'm gonna shade it just a little bit differently. There we go. Anytime I have random highlight like this, I like to do stuff like that. You just let it catch it a little bit differently. But look, it's anime eyes. I get to pay as much attention to the small details in anime eyes as I want. Just the way it works. So I want to go until I'm actually really happy with the way all this is curving. It's just things you gotta care about that you don't have to if you're drawing like real people. And I'll put a little bit of extra light around here too, I guess. No, I changed my mind. I hate it. Okay. It's fine like this. Okay. And I'll go ahead and get her cheek here. Go for that, like, Rembrandt triangle. Even though it's not really quite for this kind of lighting, I don't care. I use it anyway. It works for me. Gonna make her cheeks look nice and chubby. Extra pinchable. I think it's an important quality to have for a character like this. Okay, so I think that should be good. I guess I'll add one more little highlight on her mouth here. And then maybe a little one on the nose right there. Just a little one. Okay. Yep, I'm happy. I will still leave the hair for last because hair is scary. Fur is scary too, so let's just come down here. And I'll get the rest of the coat first. And then I'll go worry about all of those other things. Okay, that hair will be in light, but like I said, hair is scary. So I'm gonna worry about how I want her shoulder to be lit here. And I want it to be something like this. I want a little bit more on the ball of the shoulder right there. There we go. And here I think I can make my life a little bit easier by selecting my coat layer. I swear I cannot talk today. Keep just slurring all my words together. Alright, no, that's not part of the coat layer. That is part of the sleeve layer. There we go. Just try to do these things so I don't have to worry about coloring outside the lines quite so much. Okay, and now I'm just thinking about how part is going to get lit. There's going to be a little bit of that kind of rough texture like this. As the light just catches all these little pleats, and I definitely got to zoom in to get that right. I want to make sure that I follow the lines that I drew fairly okay, and you can see this is why I was okay with leaving them fairly rough. I didn't think that I needed to be super precise here. Because even now, I think they still look okay. There. And that is sufficient for that. Okay. I still want to draw a little bit here. Just pull out this kind of shape where I feel like the light is hitting fairly directly. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks really, really nice. I always love adding the atmospheric lighting at the end here, just actually going through and refining it all. I really do think it makes the image. Like, look how much better this little thumbnail looks with just what I've done so far. I'm gonna hide my swatch. Because it's like, man. This is when I can really start looking at things and being like, man, it's so good. I'm so happy. Can I get away with making this the highlight glow? I hate it. Okay. The answer is no. Alright, so now I guess I have some fur to draw. Pain. Alright, well here goes nothing. So I don't want anything in here to be lit. But I do want the fur itself to pretty much all be lit in that area, so I'm gonna go ahead and select it. Oh no, I made it bigger, that's right. Okay, I can't do that. Just kinda gotta go through and do it. Okay, no problem. And then I guess I just make it furry. Okay. Just something like that, and then I kind of want to make sure I decide where it ends nicely. I think right around there is probably going to be fine. So let's just paint it a fur texture. For, like, the 5th time. I feel like fur is also kind of like hair, and that it will never leave you alone. Even if it's a fairly minor point of the outfit, it just keeps going. I swear this is the reason I don't draw cats as often anymore. Okay. Almost there. Just a little bit more erasing to do, and I will be free. Free to do hair. Maybe I should be careful what I wish for. Okay. I think for this area specifically, I'm actually going to soften it just a little via smudge tool. Just because that's a lot of stuff going on. That's a lot of stuff going on in this area. Oh no, that looks bad. I changed my mind. What about my other smudge tool? Or maybe this one. No, not the teeth, the brush. Okay, this one's not bad. This one's got some furriness to it. So I'll just soften this a little bit. I don't know. I just don't like the way it looked. It happens sometimes. And then I can get the hair, and I think the hair is really gonna be what makes this last bit, so I'm looking forward to it, actually. Even if it is anime hair that never leaves me alone. Okay, yeah, that's a little better. I think I want to take it back just a little bit, though. Let me get my eraser back, because I accidentally switched off of it. But anyway, I think I want to pull this area back just a little. Like, it's fine, I just felt like the color was strong. Okay. Is there anywhere else I feel like the color is strong? Not really. Nah, not really. Okay. Let's go do some hair. So I guess I'll just select all my hair layers for now. I'm not putting any light on more hair, so it'll just be hair and strands. And I guess the back hair, too. I should probably actually start with the back hair. Let's do it. So make sure it's all covered, and then I select the inverse and erase. Just so I don't have so much stuff on the coat layer here. This area should really not be getting very much light at all. And it's fine. That area on the hair will be getting fixed, so... where is that coming from? Am I drawing on the wrong layer? No, I'm on the right one. I see. had a bit of shadows in a bad spot here, so let's fix that. There. Much better. Okay. So everything, like, until this shadow, I think, should be very, very bright. Even this shadow, I think, should be bright. And I'm going to select my hair layers right now, just to give myself a little bit of an easier time. This way I don't get it out into her skin and stuff. And actually, I have some stuff out on her skin and stuff already that I should fix. Now that spot's fine, but this spot should be fixed. The hand is very messy, so I would like to... While I do want light on it, I kind of want to fix that. Okay. We're just going to do a pass through here to make sure that there's nothing that shouldn't be there. And there we go. I think that's all of it. Yep, there's a little bit of bleeding right there. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this. I'll shade that part once I get some strands in properly and really start rendering that. But for now, this area. So this is where I get to play around a little bit. And just decide which areas I think look really good lit up strongly and which areas I think I need to kind of tone it back. I especially like putting stuff on the highlights. I mean, it turns them like white, but they're so shiny. So freaking shiny. I love it so much. They're like glowing now, and I do actually really like that. I tend to bring it just a little bit beyond the highlight like this. That is taste. I enjoy it, so I do it. And I'm keeping some of these shadows a little bit more muted. They don't need to glow like everything else. They are fine being dark just the way they were meant to be. Oh man, look at the way those highlights are glowing. So pretty. I like it a lot. Okay. I'll go ahead and add a little bit more light right here. And let this kind of roll down into the highlight down there. And back up into that highlight. Once again, making it just a little bit bigger. And I see that I accidentally missed a spot on the skin here. There we go. So it's hair rendering, so I'm going to take my sweet time to get everything just right. And it always takes a minute, but I only have to render like a third of the hair, so it's fine. It's totally fine. Okay. So I think I'm gonna do the bangs before I do the lower parts for no particular reason. Just, I can, so it's fine. I have decided that I want to start from up here. And then I just gotta get those nice shapes in. And really just bring this into where I think it should be finished. I kind of want the strand to be a little bit longer than where this highlight hits. But I also kind of have the highlight to contend here, so maybe I actually don't. Okay, no, this looks fine. I'll do it like this. And then I can get this little part of the highlight there. But I do want it to start getting a little bit strandier throughout here. Where I start kind of fading out the bright light. I'll still have it follow this highlight because I do extend it a little further out this way. And I do think it looks good like that, so I'm gonna do that, so highlight gets to glow. Sounds good to me. So I think I'll do it like this, where I dodge that shadow, but go right into this highlight super hard. Yeah, that makes me happy. I like this. I like this a lot. And I think before I finish this today, I would like to revisit the kind of shining light, not the rainbow light. I think the rainbow light looks good, but I have a little bit of like the blue shining light. I'm not quite sure if I'm happy with how that looks, so I think I might try that again too, if I have some extra time. If I don't, I'll probably just leave it since I don't think it looks like super bad or anything, but... Okay. Just very gently and carefully putting all those lights in. This part... Let's see, how much of this do I want to be lit? I do think I need the side of this lit. And then probably a little bit on this highlight too. But I think I'll leave that highlight unlit. And I think I actually don't want this part lit. But I will definitely light that strand, and... I'm probably gonna have to pick this separately. I guess I can do that now. It's easy enough to reselect both layers once I'm done. So I'll just make this part shiny. Okay, and then I see that the other part of the highlight is not actually part of this layer, which is a little awkward, but it's all good. I can make it work. No problem. Okay. So now I'm gonna select the hair and the strands again. And I will do the lower part of the hair now. And that'll be it. So this might be another case where I want to select the strand. I'll go ahead and do what I want to do with the hair below it first. And kind of get that going where I want it. So yeah, I'm just gonna get all of this. And then here is where I will start kind of tapering it off. I'll just put a couple of little lights right through here. Something like this. Alright, so once I clean that up, I think that will look fantastic. Just gotta make it all look nice, and I want it to follow the flow of the hair nicely. Very, very important. Man, if I knew that I was going to be doing light today, I thought the background would take me a little bit longer, but no, I kept that amazingly simple. It was very much about all the light. But, if I had known that I was going to be doing all the lighting today, I would have given my stream a different title. Talk about cool lighting. It's like the best part. It is definitely my favorite part. This is just when everything really comes together, I think. Like, the idea has been existing in my head for a while. I had the layers existing from the beginning, but now you guys can really actually see what was sitting there in my head, and not just a hollow impression of it. Nada. Not just the point where I kinda faked it all and just had the bare minimum to make sure that I actually liked where this picture was going. I know that this is when it gets to be real. Nah. I want to light this one. I had to think about it for a second, but no, this is how I want it. I'll light only half of this one, though. Okay, and that should look pretty good once I smooth it all out. Might take me a second to smooth it out, though, because things are getting complicated again. It's hair. It's always going to be complicated. I'll keep the shadows up until about there, darker. But this is still looking a little blobby to me, so I would like to fix it. Just work out those chunks and keep it buttery smooth. I would rather not have chunks in my hair. That doesn't seem like a good thing to have in hair. Okay. So I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. Stretch. Okay. So before I call everything finished, what I'd like to do is add just a little bit of rainbow to the fence. I don't think I want to do it on the trees, just the fence. The fence might actually be a little bit bright. So I think I'm going to darken it a little. Keep it something closer to a vague silhouette than what I currently have. I want it a little brighter than that, I think. Yeah, I think somewhere around there should be good. Now let's just add a touch of rainbow to it, just so it doesn't look quite as out of place as it does right now. Because right now, I don't know, it's not quite working for me. And I need to be very gentle with this, which means I gotta get rid of the flower for a second. It's just lagging Krita too hard. Actually, no, I'm not going to use the reds there. I'm going to use the blues and the purple. And that's it. Maybe just a little bit of green on the top. Okay. How's that? Okay, I do think that looks a little bit better. I think the trees are probably fine as is. I don't know, do they look better with color? No, I think they look better without. Okay. So now I will go to the fence post in the background to do the same thing. And once again, I think I'm mostly just going to use the blue and the purple. I don't really want them to stand out too much, so this is fine. And I'll just put a little bit of green at the top. Okay, and I actually do think that makes it blend in just a little bit better. I'm going to put this below my dark layer, though. And then in the very back, I'm going to add, once again, just a little bit more rainbow. Okay, that was weird for a second. Okay, now this needs to be above the trees and the ground. Just a little bit of rainbow. I think it's funny when adding color actually blends things in a little bit better. Okay, and that's fine. I don't think I need any more. And then finally, I need a little bit on her umbrella, but that I will actually make, like, proper. So red at the top and probably down to about green or blue. So I'm gonna set it to hard light this time and just plop down those colors. Because umbrellas, or white things, I should say, really do reflect color very strongly. So if I add more color to it, it will actually look whiter and more accurate. One of those funny things. The human brain is bizarre. Oh, what's making you go outside the lines there? I have you set to preserve alpha. Huh. I wonder why it's not. That's weird. Oh well, I don't think it looks bad, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, there we go. And then I think I want just a little bit of reflected light in there, mostly for rainbow purposes. So let's see, that layer that I have called skin light, I'm gonna clear that and I'm gonna have this be reflected light instead. So let's see. I'm gonna draw it with a solid color first. Neon green sounds fantastic. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of light on the side of her face here. Okay. Just in the few places that I think need it. And of course there's probably gonna be a bunch in the hair just because, you know, freaking hair, man. The hair will get some too, but you know, in true me fashion, I'm doing it last. Let's see here. Where do I think it should go? Probably just a little bit on this side. I want to do the hair just at the end. I don't want to do it right now. But there's going to be some of the bangs over there. I think a little bit on her chest makes sense. Just a little bit back here. A little bit on the hands. And this sleeve. A little bit right here through the zipper. And then just a little bit on the ribbon here. Okay, and I think that'll be great until I am ready to add the stuff on the hair. Okay, let's go. How do I want to do this? This color dodge is going to be too bright. Screen is going to be too bright. Overlay even was too bright. It's probably partially also because of the color I picked, but I do want really, really bright colors back there because it's all going to be rainbow. I just want a little bit of reflected light back there. But if it's going to be like neon already, then I want to make sure that I have a setting that I enjoy. I don't know. What do I feel about color dodge on the low opacity? No, it doesn't work for me. I guess hard light on low opacity looks okay. Alright, I'll go with this. And then I'll just clean up all that. And once I add some rainbows to this, I think it's going to look fantastic. I might end up blurring it a little. I don't know yet. But I think it'll look pretty good once I get all the right colors in there. And then I can do just a little bit of... I'll fix them the light out there, I think, and a little bit of just basic color correction and stuff. Let's see, I can probably put a little light there. No, I hate it. Okay. I keep thinking that I want to mess with the specular highlights, and I'm always wrong. Every time. It's okay. I'll keep trying it because when it looks good, it looks... So that makes it... Okay, I'm gonna keep my life easy, and I'm gonna select the head layer here. And just clear out over there rather than trying to get it right. The hair I will clear once I have hair selected. So this kind of light I don't do on every picture I do, but there are times where it just really calls for it, and I think this is one of them. I just have such a bright light source that I think it'd be a shame not to bring it into over here. Actually, I changed my mind. I do kind of want it on the eyelashes. All right. But I think this is going to be the last of the major piece of lighting. And then after that, it's just some minor corrections. I'm not actually sure if I will have enough time. I might have to do the basic color correction off stream. Because sometimes I just stare at it for a second. But I don't think there's enough in there to really be worth an entire stream. I do not think I could stretch it out for 3 hours. You know what? Where's my umbrella pole layer? Where are you? Seriously, where the heck did I put you? Here you are. Okay. So I'm gonna, once again, try to keep my life easy, and rather than freehand this, I'm gonna go ahead and select the layer and just plop it in. Okay, and that's probably sufficient. The rest is covered by hands. Okay, and there we go. I'll get it off the hair and off the fingers. The fingers will get some of their own. So like this. Okay. And then I had a little bit on the chest area here. So I'll get that nice and smooth. Trying to be as careful as I can. All right. And then we have some on the coat. So I'll go ahead and select the coat and the coat sleeves. So I'll get that in there right here. The rest of that is kind of hair, so I'm not going to worry about it. Like I said, I just want to do the hair at the end when I don't have to worry about everything. And I'm kind of keeping this reflected light to mostly shadow areas. That's where it shows up the most, so it makes sense. Okay, and I think that's good for that area. I just want to kind of clean it up through here. Actually, I need to get the zipper here. And put the light on this. I don't really want to get it in these other places, so I'll get it like that. Okay, and I think that's good there. So I think all that's left is hair. So let's go get that hair one last time. Okay, so first things first, I want to clear out everything that I'm not explicitly designing for hair. Actually, that ribbon I should clean just a little here. It's a little bit messy. Okay. Now then, time to get the hair itself. And that, as always, will probably take a minute. Because it's hair, and it's everywhere. So this will also have the upside of making certain areas that are in the dark a little bit more clear. So that'll be nice. So just like right here. Put a little bit more light around her eyes as well. Make them stand out just a little bit more. This is one where you kind of have to take my word on it that it'll look really cool. At least until I finish it. And I'm just gonna kind of clean it as I go. Normally I don't do that, but I think it's fine here. Okay, and I think that'll be good there. I will clear everything off this strand. I do not think anything should be there. But this one I will let go just a little bit above it, and I think that's fine. Okay. Let's get some stuff going down here now. And just through these little strands going through here. Man, she has a lot of hair. Like, I'm trying to go fast so that this way I can finish it today, but man, there's just so much hair. So much hair. And I get the feeling I'm gonna have to drop the opacity on this just a little bit more and possibly blur the edges just a little bit. We'll see. Like, I think it's wrong to say that it's not working for me, but it's not quite there yet. Right now, I still think it looks a little bit weird. But it'll get there. I'm pretty sure I can make it work. And I think that's the only hair area that really needs it. Okay, let's make these colors better now. So first they're gonna get worse. But it's okay, I'll fix it. Okay, so now down to blue. And then purple. Okay, so that does look a little better. It's a bit closer to what I was picturing, but let me see if I can find a better blend mode for this. No, not really. Hard light is probably my best bet. Okay, I don't think I need to blur it. I'll just keep it nice and subtle. And then I think it'll look pretty good. So now I'm gonna go revisit the rays here. I'm still not a huge fan of them. But I do think they are pretty close to okay. So hopefully I can get something that I enjoy in. I just think that they're a little bit too blurry is the thing. So what I want to try is I want to get my line tool and draw some lines going out. Oh, I have the layer locked. Okay, that's fine. Let's do that again. No, I don't want to use the airbrush. I want to use the regular brush. Please be large. Okay. I'm gonna get some big ones in here. And then I'll start dotting the area with smaller ones. I think I want a slightly bigger one up there. Maybe not that big. Yeah, right about there seems good. Let that one kind of go into her face. I think it'll be very nice there. And now I think they're just going to start getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I don't want them to cross. So it's going to look weird for a second. That's okay. That's planned. Things often look weird before... Oops, I did that again. Before they look better. Okay, and now what I want to do is grab my airbrush on eraser mode and start just vanishing the tips. I might need to blur this a little bit, but I already like this better, so... You know what? I don't actually think I need to blur this. Maybe slightly. Okay, and I do think that looks better, so I'm happy. Okay, so there we go. I think that's everything. So let's go ahead and start doing my basic color correction. And before that, I like to get just a little bit of blurriness like around the edges and stuff. So this one I will keep on normal and just erase all the areas that I don't want to be blurred. I think I'm actually going to let the fur be slightly blurred. Maybe not like right here, but back there I think will look pretty good. Hands definitely cannot be blurred. Okay, I think that's good. So now I got another one. I'm gonna blur this one just a little bit here. Okay, that's just with the basic Gaussian blur, and then I set it to soft light. And this generally just fixes like any contrast issues like right away. Without much effort at all. And I always feel like it adds a little bit of a dreamy glow to it, so I enjoy it. Generally, I only keep it at like 20% opacity or so. But yeah, I think that's good. Let's see, do I like it? I don't know, the darks are just a little bit dark. Okay, I think that's okay. And now I'm going to put in curves, which is color adjustment in Krita. I feel like the lights might be just a little bit bright, so I'm gonna tone them down just a little. No, I don't like it. Okay, so I'm not gonna use curves then. I think that what I've got is good. So now I'm going to try color balance. Just kind of adjust the colors everywhere. Actually, I can't right now. I want to scooch the image over so this way I can see. Unfortunately, you guys can't see my window, but this way I can see what I'm doing. I get the feeling I'm not going to need that much color adjustment for this one. I like the colors. I think they are quite strong. Yeah, it's looking like the color adjustment here is so minimal, it might as well not even be there. I think I made some of the shadows a little bit more magenta. And that was about it. Okay. There we go. And right at the time I'm supposed to end, I think that I'm done. So tomorrow, I always like to sleep on my pictures, so tomorrow I will take another look at it, see if I still like it. And if I do, I'll just go ahead and hopefully put together a time-lapse and upload it. I unfortunately think some of the footage might have gotten corrupted by the same thing that corrupted some of the footage on Rudy. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to make a video of the entire thing, but I will try to get as much of it as I can. So we'll see how I feel about this tomorrow. I admit, the contrast is extremely high. And the me of right now thinks it really works. But we'll see how the me of tomorrow feels about it all. Or if I want to tone any of it down. But right now, I really do like it. This part just looks like it's glowing, and I do love that kind of thing. So, I guess this is where I will be stopping for today, and possibly forever on this one. So, if you got a chance, go reply to that post over in the posts tab asking for some... you know, the name of a random VTuber, a mood or feeling, and a location. So this way I can base that. Or the next drawing I draw on that. And hopefully I can get something kind of weird and interesting to draw. Because that sounds like fun. I want to try it. So I hope you will consider participating. It would make me very happy. But there we go. Finished image. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Just get it all on screen. And I guess this is where I will be stopping for today. So thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.